So as we were interacting that, you wanted to see how this amplification is happening. So we defined a value of IB, which was 1 milliamp. We are able to see what is the value of IC. The value of IC is found to be 100 milliamps. So when I compare my input current with the output current, I can say that my output current is greater than that of input current. Now here you will observe one important parameter. Here you will observe one important parameter. That's nothing but in case of your common emitter configuration, this can be one of your advantage. Okay, this can be one of your advantage. In case of your common emitter configuration, in case of your common emitter configuration, okay, now you are able to see that your transistor, okay, is working like an current amplifier, is working like an current amplifier with a gain as beta, with the gain as beta, current amplification gain as beta, where beta is being defined, as IC divided by IB. However, default your transistor, it will work like a voltage amplifier. Default your transistor will work like an voltage amplifier because of the simple concept of transferred resistance. I hope you remember my introduction video. Okay, wherein in case of transferred resistance, so since your input resistance is less and output resistance is high, so because of that parameter, your output voltage will be always greater than that of your input voltage. So here voltage amplification happens as a default because of the concept of transferred resistance. But in CE mode, you are able to see that this is one advantage. That is, your transistor now is not only working like a voltage amplifier, it's also assisting me as a current amplifier. Is it clear to you? Okay. Now here there is one more point that I would like to make it clear. Okay, you can take this as a note, not a problem. Okay. Now I want to talk something about that reverse saturation current. I want to compare this reverse saturation current. So in case of this reverse saturation current, I just want to have a good comparison between what is happening in the CV mode, that is common base mode, and one more, it is common emitter mode. So this is my CV mode and this is my CV mode. So I want to talk on the parameter of reverse saturation current. So I'm having the equation for IC over here, which states that IC is equals to alpha times that of IE plus ICBO. Am I right? Yes. Now I want to write what's the equation for C mode. It is IC is equals to beta times that of IB, plus beta plus 1 times that of ICBO. Now, in case of your CV mode, what's your reverse saturation current? Reverse saturation current is just ICBO. Agreed? What is the reverse saturation current in case of CE mode? In case of CE mode, reverse saturation current is beta plus 1 times that of ICBO. Now, these two equations, they are self-explanatory. Now, let me say that if my beta value is equals to 99, then in that case, 99 plus 1 is 100. So it is 100 times that of your ICBO. It is 100 times that of your ICBO. It simply means this is also ICBO, but this is what? 100 times that of this value. So it means your common emitter mode is going to have more value of reverse saturation current. Your common emitter mode will be having higher value of reverse saturation current than compared to that of your CV mode. Is it clear to you? So this equation you should remember. So this equation itself is self-explanatory. Okay, is it clear to you? Yes, my dear students, is it clear to you? Okay. So now, since we have discussed about the fundamentals of the CE mode, quickly we'll rush in to discuss about the input and output characteristics, okay, of the CE mode. Small variation, I could say. So which already you are discussed in case of CV mode. Similar such graphs you are going to get it in case of CE mode as well, okay. But small variations with respect to the uh, small concepts as such. So if we address it, it's more than sufficient. Okay. So now we'll go for input characteristics, input characteristics of configuration, common emitter configuration. Okay. So now let me have the structure of my transistor. Okay. Now this is my emitter, the base, and the collector. Okay. So I'll be having three terminals. So this is N, P, N. Okay, so this is the base current IB. This is the collector current IC. Am I right? And this is the emitter current I. And I want to bias this particular transistor. Okay, I want to bias this particular transistor. Now I want to bias this transistor such that my transistor should be in the active mode. So since my transistor has to be in the active mode, the base emitter junction has to be forward biased and collector base junction has to be reverse biased. So with that intent, I'll connect positive to positive, negative to negative. Okay, so this becomes my VBB, and this I want to reverse bias. So since this is negative, I want to connect positive. Okay, so negative here. So this becomes my VCC. This becomes my VCC. Okay, now, so I know that this is my IB. Okay, the input voltage I'll be having it between these two terminals. So I normally call it as VBE. Okay, between base and emitter, and output voltage I'll be getting between a collector and emitter. So this voltage VC, it stands as output voltage. Okay. Now, normally what we are doing over here is we are ignoring one resistance in the circuit. Intentionally, we are ignoring it so that our analysis will not be complex. However, you know that you'll be having some small resistance over here, which you call it as RB, and one more resistance on the output side, which you call it as RC. So these two resistance we are ignoring. If at all, if we include this resistance RB, then no time VBB will not be equal to VBE because there occurs some drop. Since I am ignoring this resistance, now my VBB is equals to VBE. I hope you are able to understand this. Since this resistance is not included in a circuit, so your VBB is same as that of VBE. But if resistance is included, then your VBE will not be equal to your VBE because some small voltage drop occurs across this resistance RB. The same is true in case of the resistance RC. Same is true in case of the resistance RC. So now, so let me say that I want to have this input characteristics. So for which I know what is my input current, what is my input voltage, what are my output currents and output voltage. My input current is nothing but the base current, IB. Input voltage is nothing but my VBE. Then my output current is nothing but IC, and output voltage is nothing but VCE. Output voltage is nothing but VCE. Okay. So now once if I know these terms, because this is very important. Okay. So once if I know these terms, then I can simply plot my input characteristics. So input characteristics means it's a plot of input voltage versus input current for various values of the output voltage. For various values of output voltage. So it means I'll be plotting a graph of base current versus the input voltage VBE for different values of VCE. For different values of VCE. Okay. Now, now I shall simply say over here that if I want to have a graph, the input voltage graph, so this indicates my VBE and this indicates my IB. Now, before starting this, what graph we are going to get, let me show you the two diode model of this transistor. A two diode model of this transistor. So the same circuit what you people have developed it over here in terms of a structural diagram, I'll be having it a two diodes. Okay. I do feel that one here. Okay. So this is N, P, N transistor. Okay, it's a representation with the help of two diode model. So this is your base current IB, this is your IC, and this is your IE. Okay, in order to have your input characteristics, what are you going to do? You have connected one source over here, positive to negative. Okay, so which you call this as VVB. Okay, VVB. Okay, so positive is connected to positive and negative is connected to negative. So it means when if you forget about this section now, you only concentrate on this section. You only concentrate on this section. So positive is connected to positive, negative is connected to negative. Then what will be the input characteristics of your CE mode of this transistor? Yes. How does your input characteristics is going to be seen? Yes. Please answer in the group chat. How is your input characteristics of your transistor operating in a CE mode is going to be seen? Yes, it will be as same as that of forward biased response of a diode, because since this diode is being forward biased now. Okay, since it is being forward biased now, so your response will be somewhat like this. So initially, unless the barrier voltage is reached until your VBE becomes equal to your VB, a small current will be flowing in a circuit or through the device. Then the moment VBE becomes equal to or greater than VB, you can see an exponential rise in the current. You can see an exponential rise in the current. Okay, now you have to understand what is the effect of variation in VCE. What's the effect of variation in VCE on IB? What's the effect of variation in VCE on IB? Now, in order to understand this effect, as we had interacted one term in the previous session, something called as an early effect, right? So wherein we were able to say that, okay, in case of early effect, okay, as per this early effect, or which is also called as the base width modulation, because in some of the textbooks the same concept is expressed, but not by addressing as early effect, addressing it as base width modulation. So you should not get confused. So it's the reason I'm writing both the terms. Okay. So let me say that this is my structural diagram of the transistor. Okay, so this is NPN section, wherein this is the emitter. The collector should have more space, base less, and this is emitter. So this is the emitter. Okay, then this is the base, and this is the collector. N, P, N. Okay, so this is your junction J1. This is your junction J1, and this is your junction J2. Okay, now let me say that this width, this width, we are going to call it as our address it as WB, where WB stands as width of base. WB stands as width of base. Understanding? So on this base, you can simply say that since this is N side, okay, so you'll be having some holes as a minority elements standing on the junction, and this side you'll be having, since it's a p type of material, I'll be having electrons as minority elements standing on this junction. Okay, let me show some dotted line until its availability. Okay, so this is WB, the width of the complete base. Okay, and this section of this base where I can say that a barrier is created. Okay, a barrier is created, or a depletion layer is created. So I call this as W. Okay, where W indicates depletion layer width. Depletion layer width. Okay, and this is the free section where no electrons or holes are available, or it's a free section which is being left out for recombination of the charges. So I call that section as W effective, because it's the effective area where actually the recombination can occur. Okay, it's effective area where the recombination can happen. This is a space which has been left out, which has been shown as a shaded space. Okay, now since I know that whenever this VCE is going to be increased, whenever this VCE is going to be increased, I write it in terms of equation. Whenever this VCE is going to be increased, okay, what happens? When VCE is increased, VCB is also going to increase. VCB is also going to increase. Why? Because we know that my VCE is equals to VBE, sorry, VCB plus VBE. My VCE, my VCE is equals to VCB plus VBE. Now, as I'm increasing this VCE, VCB also should increase, because this is a fixed voltage. So this VBE is a fixed voltage. So as VCE is increased, VCB also increases. But what is VCB? It's a reverse voltage. It's a reverse voltage. So VCB is going to increase. So if VCB increases, what will be its effect? What will be its effect? Effect will be, since we know the equation that we had written yesterday, saying that WB, nothing but the weights, the bed, is being given by W effective plus W. Okay, if I want to write the same equation for W effective, then W effective will be equal to WB minus W, wherein WB is a fixed quantity. This will not alter. WB is a fixed quantity. Now, since I am increasing this VCE, so VCB also increases. I am saying very easily with the help of this equation, wherein VCE is been defined as VCB plus VBE. Since VBE is a fixed voltage for a given transistor, so VB cannot have any changes. So if VCE is increasing, then it surely there should be some increment in the value of VCB. Now if VCB increases, which is nothing but a reverse voltage, So if VCB increases, then naturally this W has to increase. This W has to increase. That is, this depletion layer has to increase. So since this depletion layer increases, so the I can say that subtraction between WB minus W, so this will be less. So your W effective is going to decrease. That is, the effective space for your recombination of the charges is not available. Okay, the effective section for recombination of charges is not available. Since effective space for recombination is not available, the number of electrons also is going to decrease. Since number of electrons is going to decrease, it surely says that the value of IB is going to decrease. The value of IB is going to decrease. Then I can simply say here, since my VCE is increased, VCB also increases. Effect of this is making my W to increase. Effect of that, it is making my W to increase. Since W is increasing, what is happening to W effective? W effective, it is decreasing. Since W effective is decreasing, what it makes? It makes my IB to decrease. So this is the cause and this is the effect. Okay, it's a chain. It's a chain where cause and effect is more important to me. In short, I can say that increase in the value of VCE decreases IB. Increase in the value of VCE, it makes my IB to decrease. On the other side, if I increase the value of IB, then my VCE has to decrease. So this is how I'm going to use it. Now, in case of your response, okay, what is that I'm going to do over here is, so in this response of your VBE versus your IB, okay, I'm going to decrease this VC voltage. So here I'm going to decrease your VCE voltage. Okay, that is I'm defining the response. I'm defining the response for decreased value of VCE. It simply means to say the first response might be taken for VCE is equals to 20 volts. The second response is taken for VCE is equals to 10 volts. Third response is taken for a VCE is equals to 1 volt. So for decreased value of VCE, if you see what change in IB, your IB is shooting very sharp. Your IB is shooting very sharp. This is what this equation wants you to understand it. Okay, which is something reverse in the previous case. I hope you remember it. So in the previous, however, the nature of response is same, but in that case, higher voltage was here, lower voltage was here. But now we are getting it reverse. Higher voltage is over here, lower voltages are coming on either side. Understanding? Is it clear to you? So this is how is my input characteristics of my C mode of my transistor. Okay, quickly we'll rush in for the last concept for the day. That's nothing but output characteristics. Okay, so in case of output characteristics of my common emitter mode, okay, output characteristics of common emitter configuration of transistor. Okay, of transistor. So now, in order to build this output characteristics, I need to plot a graph of output current versus an output voltage, which is nothing but VCE. So it's output current versus output voltage for different values of input current. So input current is the base current. Input current is the base current. So for different values of input current, I should plot a graph of the output current versus the output voltage. Then let me say that I want to plot a graph now. So this is my VCE and this is my IC. Okay. So since we know the equation wherein IC is equals to beta times that of IB plus beta plus 1 times that of ICB naught, where this ICB naught is talking about the leakage current. ICB naught is talking about the leakage current. Now, let me say that if my IB is 0, let me say that my IB is 0. IB is 0, what does it mean? IB is 0 means I am not applying any input. IB is 0, it simply means IB is 0, it simply means my input, I'm not applying any input. So since my input is 0, this terms become 0. So my IB becomes 0. So this entire term becomes 0. So 0 plus something is this term. Then I'll be getting the equation as IC is equals to beta plus 1 times that of ICB naught. Since ICB naught is a leakage current, I'll be having a very small value of current. Then I can just represent it like this. When my IB is 0, I'll be getting a small value of current. So this is at IB is equals to 0. Understanding? I'm getting a small value of IC, which is being given by this expression. Now, if I go on incrementing the value of IB in linear steps, then the response will be somewhat seen like this. The response will be seen somewhat like this. The same response is being repeated for higher values of IB. So let me say that if the value of IB is 0.1 milliamps, okay, 0.1 milliamps. This is 0.2 milliamps. This is 0.3 milliamps. Okay, then I can easily say if I take sort of suitable value of beta, then I can simply compute what's the value of this IC. Let me say that this is something 5, this is something 10, and this is something 15. Something linearly I'm taking it. Okay, something linearly I'm able to take it. Okay, so now if at all, if I just observe this response, then I can surely compute what is the value of beta if at all if I'm interested in. Then I can compute the value of beta as change in the value of IC divided by change in the value of IB. Now what's the change in the value of IC? Since it's linear in nature, I can take any value. Okay, so change in the value of IC is 10 minus 5. Okay, so this is nothing but 10 minus 5. Okay, divided by the value of IB. The value of IB is 0.2 minus 0.1. What's the answer of this ratio? What's the answer of this ratio? Yes, the answer will be 50, right? Am I right? Yes, the answer will be 50. It means your beta value is found to be as 50. Okay, with having beta as 50, I'm able to have this kind of a response, an arbitrary response of my common emitter configuration working as an amplifier using a transistor. Okay, is it clear to you? Fine.